Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
I am Taylor Nelson, a digital strategist here at Key Media Solutions.
And I'm Karina, the founder and CEO at Key Media Solutions, and we are really excited for this topic today. Taylor and I feel like we spend a lot of time already on this, and it really does dominate a lot of our time and conversations internally, and we're excited to share that. And while most of you are probably somewhat familiar with the full marketing funnel and media strategies, we want to go just a little bit deeper into that today and have a conversation. So if you're joining us online, please ask questions, join the conversation. We'd love to hear from you and engage you in that. You're not going to throw us off of our game. We might go longer than 10 minutes, but we've got our kind of talking points timed out, and we're going to stick with that. And it kind of came up out of a conversation that happened a few weeks ago where we were in a conversation with a company prospect, and they really had their plan so segmented into channels that they were really losing sight of the overall goal and objective of the campaign. And when we budget, it makes sense. And it used to be this way forever. You'd budget, we spend this much on television, we spend this much on radio, then we put this much into our website, we put this much into content development. And what we want to get through today is that your customers don't think in those channels. They're not making decisions based on those channels. They're not interacting with you because you're spending money on a certain channel. They really are having a holistic experience with you. And their touch points are not segmented in their mind based on where they saw you first, where they saw you second, what message they received where. And so we as marketers really need to change and be really intentional about how we're changing our approach from being just really focused on the channels where we're spending our budget to making sure we're developing a strategic plan that really is comprehensively touching the customer in their journey where it's most impactful. And we're adjusting, shifting, and responding to those moments. And so that's really what the funnel is about anymore. It's really about that customer journey and making sure that our marketing strategy aligns with delivering the right messages at the right time to have the greatest impact. And not every touch point is a sale. So the first foundational piece that we really want to dive into is really understanding your audience, because they are the driver and motivator for everything we're doing. And by audience, I'm not saying we're targeting everybody, because there's very, very few brands and companies out there that have that broad of an audience. It's really digging into understanding who is your ideal customer. The people that are going to engage, they're going to spend the most money, they're going to be frequent buyers, they're going to give you great reviews, and they're going to eventually become brand loyalists. Who is that customer for your business? And making sure you have a really deep understanding of that first and foremost. Understanding their buying behaviors. What are their media habits? Where do they go for information before making a purchase? And then where do we need to engage with them, and what kind of content do we need to give them to build a foundation of trust so that we become the top of mind, the first person they think of when they're ready to make a purchase. So we want to, we know, and it's been this way, but every strategy we have really starts with that audience research first, is really understanding who is the best person that we want to get a message in front of, and where are they spending time? And at the end of the day, what is the outcome that we need them to take in every step along the way?
Absolutely. And that second stage is defining the outcomes and KPIs. So before launching campaigns, you need to ask, what business goals are we solving? Is it leads? Is it booking appointments? Is it getting deposits? Is it sales? Or is it brand awareness? And then from there, define those KPIs that support those outcomes. One of the most important things we help clients understand is that not every campaign should be measured the same way. A campaign built for awareness should not be judged only on immediate leads, and a campaign built for conversion should not be judged only by impressions. The KPIs need to match the stage of the customer journey. For example, if we are trying to create awareness, we may be looking for reach, frequency, video completion rates, website traffic, or branded search growth. If we are trying to capture demand, we may be focused on cost per lead, form submissions, phone calls, appointment requests, conversion rate, or return on ad spend. The key is making sure the business goal is clear before the campaign begins. That way, every tactic has a purpose, every channel has a role, and reporting actually tells us whether the strategy is moving the business forward.
And then one of the things that we really want to add into one of those foundational pieces, and we all are talking about it, right? Everybody's talking about AI and artificial intelligence and how we can utilize those tools to do more, to do it better, to do it faster, to find deeper insights, to analyze those audiences, and really expedite the work that we're doing. And so one of the things that we've really been working on internally and talking to our clients about lately is how can we utilize some of these tools to give your brand better outcomes with the tools you have, with the resources that are available to you, and expanding your resources. So, and there's a lot of places where AI and automation can take manual work, not strategic work, not key work, not client work, but some just repetitive manual work off of the plates of the marketing team, and expedite the time it takes, but also the quality of those outcomes. And it's everything from routing leads, where do they need to go to, following up on different workflows, content creation. AI has been used for content creation for a long time, but again, we want that content creation to be unique. We want it to be specific to your brand voice, your tone, your industry, your audiences. We don't want it to sound like everybody else, because there's no point in putting together a marketing strategy that is not going to differentiate you from your competitors. Reporting automations. How can we get deeper insights faster and in real time from the work and efforts that we're doing? Creating branded GPTs. We have a compliance GPT in our organization that makes sure that everything we do follows the compliance guidelines that we have in place for our organization. And every AI that is being built has to go through that compliance GPT. So we don't have to have another person do QA assurance through all of those pieces. Prompt libraries, and just even competitive monitoring. What are your competitors saying, and how are they saying it differently than you're doing, and what are their outcomes? Is there anything that we can learn from that? And so the goal isn't to replace people. I want to be really, really clear on that.
Mm-hmm.
But the goal is really to help teams work faster, move smarter, and get better outcomes. And then we jump into the funnel after the foundational pieces are in place.
I think this one's yours.
Okay. Yeah, I know we talked about this. I'm sorry. My day's been crazy. I'm coming in hot, and we've had about 20 minutes to connect here beforehand. So the top of that funnel really is about creating awareness. And if you're one of those handful of brands that is like Coke or Nike or whatever, where there is so much brand awareness that you don't really need any top of the funnel marketing, or you don't feel like you have to be there, like, people instantly know, I need tennis shoes, I should look at Nike. I want a beverage, I'm going to look up Coke. Like, that's fantastic if you're one of those brands. The rest of us are not one of those brands, and we really need to set an awareness goal in every one of our marketing strategies, because we have to tell people that we exist, that our services exist, that our products exist, and inform them as to why they would want to buy them. And so there's some great tools that are really good at creating awareness in the top of the funnel. And the goal of that top of the funnel is just that. It's just to plant the seed. It's to say, hey, we're here and we could maybe solve a problem that you had. You should check us out. And so think of things like broadcast television, cable television, connected TV are really great resources in those funnel stages. Radio can have a place here, as can some online display or online video creative. Out of home really lives in this, both digital out of home and, billboards and bus signage and gas station signage, and all of those things kind of live in this top of funnel awareness. It's not super targeted, but it really is a message that talks about, like, hey, we're here. We have a service that we think you could be interested in. Traditional does a great job of finding that incremental reach and reaching broad audiences. Digital supports it by adding a lot of frequency and some better targeting capabilities within it. But overall, know that at this stage, awareness is not about selling anything. It's really about the hand raise and becoming known.
And then you move into the middle of the funnel where you start to build that trust and consideration. Once someone knows you exist, they start researching. This is where you get your smart search, where your SEO and your PPC go together. Social media, your video content, you can start to run some of those retargeting ads, and website content, and then reviews and reputation. That's huge. If people see that you're getting really high reviews and you have a really great reputation, they're more than likely going to take that into consideration when they're looking at, choosing your product. It all works together. This is where the buyers answer, can I trust them? Are they credible? And do they understand my problem? So middle of the funnel is where the relationship starts to become more intentional. The customer may not be ready to call yet, but they are paying attention. They are comparing options, reading reviews, watching videos, checking your website, looking at you on your social media, and deciding whether your business feels credible. This is also where consistency matters. If your paid ads say one thing, your website says another, and your social media has not been updated in months, that can create a hesitation. But when the message is consistent across channels, it builds confidence. At Key Media, this is where we often look at how search, content, social, video, retargeting, and reputation all work together. The goal is not to stay visible. The goal is to help the customer feel more informed, more comfortable, more ready to take that next step. So next, we move into bottom of the funnel, where you capture the demand. When intent is highest, we need to be visible. This is where PPC, SEO, landing pages, lead forms, phone calls, and conversion optimization become critical. The goal is turning interest into action. Bottom of the funnel is where we have to make it easy for people to convert. At this point, the customer is showing stronger intent. They may be searching for a specific service, clicking on a high intent ad, returning to the website, or visiting a contact page. This is where small details can make a big difference. Is the call to action clear? Is the phone number easy to find? Does the landing page match the ad? Is the form simple? Does the page load quickly? Does the customer immediately understand why they should choose you? The goal here is to remove friction. We do not want someone who is ready to take an action to get confused, distracted, or drop off before they convert. This is also why SEO and PPC work well together at this stage. SEO helps build long-term visibility and credibility, while PPC helps capture high-intent demand in the moment. When those two are aligned, businesses have a much stronger opportunity to show when customers are actively looking.
Awesome. And know that as marketers, our jobs don't end because a sale was made. This is where we have an opportunity now to take those customers that just made a purchase, made an action, filled out a lead form, and turn them into raving fans. Like, we want them to go from unknown to I just lost the word there, to activists for us. And so this is where we really need to be intentional about making sure that we have email marketing efforts set up, that we're constantly communicating, not annoyingly so, but staying consistently in front of those customers, where we have CRM workflows built out that can automate some of those ongoing communications. It's like, oh, you purchased this, would you also like this? Or if it's a service-based industry, that maybe explains what the journey looks like next. We have opportunities to do remarketing to them and to stay in front of them in different digital tactics. But also those customer touch points, those customer communications, whether it's a one-on-one reach out, phone call, conversation, meeting, or some sort of personalized communication email that goes out to them consistently now that they have made a client, is what's going to turn them into your fans and advocates. It's going to increase the overall lifetime value of that customer and increase the opportunity for repeat businesses from them and repeat purchases.
Absolutely. And now we move into the most important part: reporting, analysis, and optimization. Every channel above creates data. The real value comes from understanding what worked, what didn't, what changed, and what should we do next. So this is where key media's reporting, media oversight, optimization, and accountability creates value across both traditional and digital investments. Reporting should not just be a spreadsheet of numbers. It should help tell the story of what is happening in the customer journey. Are people seeing the message but not clicking? Are they clicking but not converting? Are leads coming in but not the right quality? Are certain channels helping create awareness while others are doing the final conversion work? This is why analysis matters. We are not just looking at performance in isolation. We are looking at how the full strategy is working together. Optimization is also not only a one-time task. It is ongoing. We look at the creative, messaging, audience, placements, keywords, landing pages, budgets, and the conversion path. Then we use the data to make those better decisions. This is where our marketing strategy becomes more accountable. Instead of just guessing, we can see what is helping move the customer forward and where adjustments need to be made. The strongest marketing strategies aren't built around channels. They are built around the customer journeys. Start with an audience, define the outcome, create efficiencies with AI, and build awareness through traditional and digital media. Capture demand through search, nurture relationships through email, then continually optimize. When every channel has a purpose and every tactic supports the customer journey, marketing becomes more than advertising. It becomes a measurable growth system.
And that's what we like.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We definitely did take more than 10 minutes, which I figured we would, but that's okay. There was a lot to talk about. If you guys have any questions at all, please drop them in the chat now or later on when you're watching this, and we will be more than happy to answer them.
Have a great day.